Welcome to Weekly Social, folks. Everything Katy, Fulshear, Richmond, Texas. Today we have Noah Hopp. He's in new construction. Noah, thank you so much for coming out today. Welcome.
Thank you, Richard. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the new construction realm.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been in new construction. I work for a new builder right now. I'm actually only a month in on the sales floor.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So it's been really good. I'm able to help 3 families find their homes for their dreams of home ownership so far. So I'm trying to help 8 families a month per minimum. But yeah, honestly, love the process. It's been really great. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
If you focus on them, you'll achieve them, I promise. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So you're in the new build side. What are you seeing out there today? Because you see all this national news and nobody's doing anything, but here you are 1 month in and you've already got 3 transactions that you're working through.
Yes.
So that's huge, guys. People are buying real estate every single day. So what's going on nationally, in my opinion, has no effect on what's going on in our local market. Are you seeing the same thing?
I agree. Yeah, I know with a builder, and you'll see with most builders, they'll have like incentives, right?
Sure.
As far as interest rates or packages or things like that, even help with closing costs, right? That's a pretty general thing. Each builder is a little different. That's how we've been able to have a little edge on the market.
Sure.
Something I advise my buyers to, we work a lot with first-time home buyers, even downsizers, empty nesters, or anybody who just wants to keep it simple for the process. So say, hey, you know what, you're gonna pay a mortgage, right? It's either gonna be your landlord's mortgage or it's gonna be your mortgage.
No,
right?
that's correct.
So why
You're
not
still
start
paying a
today?
mortgage.
Exactly.
And when you're paying your landlords, I mean, you can't write anything off. You have no tax benefits. And at the end of the day, when you move, you get nothing. You don't even get a thank you. So when you sell your house at the end of the day and you move, you get all that equity that you built.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. And, you know, people are always like, hey, interest rates are a little high. I'm going to wait for that perfect time, right? You've probably heard that as a realtor when you're experienced. It's like, I'm looking for the perfect time, right?
Yeah.
So,
Time in the market is the perfect time.
exactly.
You can't time the market, guys. You can't. So the quicker you get in the market and the more time you spend in the market, that is the perfect time.
Exactly. Right, and we've seen too, I mean, like obviously with Richard and his experience as well, he's seen with higher interest rates, right? Buyers might be a little more hesitant, but when interest rates lower, you're gonna have a lot more competition, right?
If you think you can't afford the home today, wait till rates go below 5 or hit the 5s. You definitely won't be able to afford the home then because the value of the home will go up, and you're gonna have everybody race in, bidding it up, just like we had during COVID when everybody's paying $25,000 to $50,000 over asking and waiving appraisals. So add that on top of your normal purchase cost, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got to hold that property for X amount of years just to break even to resell it. Versus, so right now you can buy at or below market value and start building equity immediately, typically.
Exactly. The sooner the better. So I know an old proverb I've always used as well is the best time to plant a tree is 15 years ago. The next best time is today.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Actually, we're going to bring in another special guest today. We have the lovely Missy Yee. She's another Redline Realty team member. Welcome, Missy.
Hello. Hey, Noah.
How are you doing?
Good. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Do you have any questions for him, Missy?
Well, actually, I do know Noah. Noah and I worked previously, and I just love him to death. One of the things I do know about him is that he's one of the new younger realtors in our field because a lot of the realtors are more Richard and my age.
Still pretty young though.
Yeah.
Still pretty young.
So tell us, what are some of the things that you're seeing as a younger realtor in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a realtor like for a year now. Now with the new home opportunity, new home sales opportunity, I'm officially not a realtor anymore.
Got it,
inactive. That's
Right.
common practice with builders.
Yeah, inactive, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just like what I've seen in my experience, just as a realtor before, it was a little tough getting traction going. I know talking with like Richard, Missy as well. Like you just gotta keep at it. The more you learn, the better to help your buyers, sellers, things like that. So
It takes a lot of discipline in this industry.
yeah.
So I think that's where you really excel, is that you are very disciplined, and part of that may come from your sports background in hockey.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have to be disciplined, which which essentially means you're prioritizing your future self over your present self. So you do have to do some of those things that maybe you really don't want to,
Yeah.
That's not really fun right now, but it's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
And just consistency.
Yeah.
But you found your niche in new construction, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
It is fantastic,
I
yeah.
love it,
Yeah. What do you love most about it?
Honestly, I'd say the process, like working with realtors, especially working with customers as well, directly, even investors as well. Like we'll work with them. So just the process. I mean, it's a 10 to 6, or like a 9 to 5
Yeah.
so it's 40 hours a week.
Being a realtor's not though.
Well, that's true, right? So it's a little more.
Sometimes it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
That's true. But I love the process. I mean, I'll put in, 50, 60 hours a week just because I love the process.
That's
I'll help
awesome.
people, provide the education, and just doing everything I can. So,
Design-wise, what are you seeing out there from your perspective? I mean, the trends changing. I mean, what are you seeing being built right now that the consumers are gravitating towards on the new side?
Yeah, I know. So with the homes I've worked with specifically, they're like spec homes.
Okay.
As far as like they don't have like customizations and things. We say more personalization.
So it's a speculation home is what that means to the general public. So the builder's building it, speculating he's going to sell it in the future versus a custom build home. So I'm just breaking it down for the viewers.
Yeah.
So,
Spec home tends to be more for the general masses.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, kind of like I wouldn't say like cookie cutter, right, but a little more like straightforward. We keep those options simple, especially for a first-time home buyer.
You got to keep the cost down, get their foot in the door. What colors are you seeing trending right now in those homes?
Yeah, so I know our community will do we got some navy blues, some grays, some whites.
Awesome.
Navy
so
is very
I'd say the colors are pretty common here. So yeah. And honestly, everybody loves them. To be honest, I've had very little pushback, especially. I mean, if you have more of a buying power, I guess, a little more like a personal taste, right? Maybe our price range, might not be for you, and that's respectable, right? But we're looking for, it really.
Homes are built in all price ranges.
They are.
They are.
Right. So.
I mean, 200 to 300,000. 3 to 350, 350 to 400. I mean, they go to millions of dollars, whatever you want to spend.
Yeah, and this is in the Katy, Fulshear, Richmond area, as well as Cypress area, right, West Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get homes, new construction, down at the lower price point and get some good quality homes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And I tell everybody too, we don't say perfect. We don't use the term perfect because nothing's perfect. We use ideal. All right.
Ideal is awesome.
Nothing's perfect, right? Unless you got $1 million or something, right? Then it could be perfect. But yeah, we say ideal because it'll check off most of the boxes as far as we're concerned. But it is most of our clientele are first-time home buyers, right? So something to know, people move in 5 to 7 years is like the Houston average. What I'm seeing right now.
That's what we see in our local market. Yeah, national average is 13. So your numbers.
Yeah. So, and like I said, 5 to 7 years. It could be longer, but that might not be for your forever home.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to try to help them understand. So we'll do the best we can. It's going to be ideal for you. Might not be everything you want, but with a custom build or down the road, it could be an option.
With the check in your boxes, I like to use what I call the 85% rule.
Okay.
If we can meet 85% of your needs, that's typically as close as what we're going to get in the home that you're trying to purchase.
Okay.
So, I mean, to get everything and stay within their budget, that's almost impossible with clients today.
Exactly.
Now there's always a few items where criteria that are the deal breakers, right?
Sure,
But
non-negotiables.
it's more the really want to haves, the 85-15. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I want 5 acres, a 5,000 square foot home, but I want to stay within $500,000.
What's 85% of 5 acres?
Great price, wrong decade.
No, that's fair.
So again, staying within budget. Yes, we can get all that, just not that budget.
Yeah. That is fantastic.
So hockey. What attracted you to hockey? I
Yeah.
never was a hockey player.
East Texas. Is that what? Or wait, where did you develop your love of hockey?
Yeah, so I'm from Chicago originally, so it's just kind
Richard's
of.
from Illinois.
He's from Illinois, right? So we have the Navy Blues, the Chicago guys, I'm from Chicago.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Chicago area myself.
Yeah.
The real estate mafia, right here.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I grew up in Chicago. I moved like 16 years ago, so really familiar with like the Katy, Houston area.
Okay.
It's funny, I learned to skate in Chicago. I actually started playing hockey in Texas, which is really backwards.
Now we're talking about ice hockey, not rollerblade hockey.
Both actually,
Oh.
yeah, ice and roller. So,
Oh, wow. Where have you been doing ice hockey here?
That's a great question. So no, Sugar Land.
As the temperatures start hitting 95 and 100 outside.
There's leagues, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that, Richard.
Yeah. So like Sugar Land, up by Willowbrook Mall, Memorial City, like Sharpstown area as well, or like the Four Rinks in Houston. There's also College Station. So all where I grew up playing and things. We got one roller rink in Houston. That's what I play right now. So.
Okay.
At a roller rink?
I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is that located? Is that?
Up by Beltway 8, 45 North.
So
Okay.
there's roller rinks all over Houston, but it's a roller rink specifically for hockey?
Just for hockey, yeah.
So you're not
Okay,
busting
that's
through
awesome.
an 8-year-old's roller skate party, birthday
With,
party.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly, yeah. So we got our own
Because
space
I
and see how the
might
kids
come
are
and
dancing.
watch you play if you were.
Yeah, no, definitely. So.
Riding through an 8-year-old's birthday party.
I know. So it's a good time. It's a good time. So.
Okay. So how long have you played for?
So I started playing at 11 years old.
So you have a little skill set then.
A little bit. So it's funny. I played in college for a couple years at East Texas Baptist, and I felt like I've gotten even since college, I've just gotten better and better and better. Just keep playing and things.
Yeah.
So I'm going pro. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they're a little physical. You know, at the pro stage. I have skated around with some semi-pro guys. You know, so that's fun. Trying to keep up with them. I'd say.
Did you spend any time in the penalty box?
Are those your real
Depends
teeth?
on who you're asking.
Are those your real teeth? No, that's what he really wants to know.
We're still live, right? We're still
Yeah, this is live. But that seems to, that's the only sport to where you can do that. You get in the penalty box for a minute or two, and you go right back out and do it all over again. I mean,
It is.
any other game, you'd be ejected for that. So
Exactly. I haven't got ejected yet.
No.
So, okay. Knock on wood. Penalty box a little bit. I try to stay out. I just try to, do my thing.
Oh,
and
sure.
So, yeah.
What's more difficult, ice or rollerblade hockey?
If you're first starting, I'd say ice is a little tougher, just a little more slippery, getting used to the edges. Rollers are just a little more, I don't know, safety, kind of secure kind of thing. But once you get used to it, I mean, it's just go out there and do it. So,
awesome. What are you forecasting in the future in real estate? We're trying to get it through your lens and your perspective.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, as far as forecast, as far as with the market, the Houston area or kind of new construction, or
Just trends, buying, stuff like that you're seeing?
yeah.
Are you seeing things starting to slow down, speed up in your neck of the woods? Are they kind of where they have been for a few years?
Yeah, definitely. I know, with our company, so we have 11 locations in Houston, also 7 different states. So we're always building in areas that are growing and developing, right? So I'm in the Waller area, growing and developing. So 15 minutes or so from Cypress, 12 minutes from Fairfield, kind of thing. So
Tell us about the Waller area. Actually, that's very interesting because I went to A&M, and so I was class of '97, and during that time when I was coming into Houston, Waller was the boonies. It was cattle. You didn't realize you were in Houston until you hit Beltway 8. So what does Waller look like in 2025?
yeah, so it's that's a great question.
Yes.
Great question. It's still a little spread out. So there's still some private land, cattle as you're driving through to our community. But it is developing. It is growing. We have a few new builds. Also, us and competitors as well in the area that are growing. So, but yeah, it is growing. It is growing, developing for sure.
Katy's actually in Waller County. Katy's Tri-County. Waller goes all the way into Old Katy.
So it's Waller, Fort Bend, and Harris County
Correct.
represented in all of Katy. That's crazy.
That is really
Yeah.
So imagine trying to figure out property taxes.
This man knows everything,
Yeah.
all the data
No.
about
Ask Richard. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
He's our walking encyclopedia. Actually,
I try
our Or AI.
Yeah.
He's not a real
Living
person, he's
AI.
AI.
Thank you.
No,
That's funny. So yeah, definitely the wall area, growing and developing. So
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, between now and the end of the year, are you guys, as far as budgeting out or forecasting, are you expecting bigger quarters or just kind of a plateau?
Oh, that's a great question. I know, obviously, being in a as a sales consultant, right? I mean, there's always goals and pushing us to things like that. As far as actual forecasting and things, yeah, I haven't heard too much on that side. But yeah, something that definitely keep an eye out for.
Just fact finding.
Yeah, for sure. A month in too, right? So obviously, figure things out, and yeah.
But sometimes they go, hey, we're expecting X amount this quarter, we're expecting X amount this, you know what I mean? So sometimes you just see transitions. And like right now, we're in what I call the 90-day spikes because it's the summer months.
Yeah.
The kids are out of school, people are on vacation, but in the same sentence, if they're going to make the move, they do it now while the kids are out of school before they get back into school. So you see a lot of movement this quarter right now.
Yeah, actually, that reminded me of another great question. Are you seeing buyers coming in? Are they more relocating from within Katy and Houston and Cypress, or are they coming from out of state, or from another part of the state primarily?
Yeah, I definitely say within the Katy Houston area, just kind of relocating to either. A lot of things I've heard is from the Cypress area or the Katy area getting a little too congested, so they want a little more space, a little more peace, and not as much traffic. So that's something I'm seeing. So right now,
on new construction, do you encourage people to have realtors and inspections? I mean, can you talk a little bit about the process with this?
On the buyer's side,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we love our realtors. Yeah, totally. If you don't have a realtor, he's your guy. Right?
Thank you.
Richard's your guy. So yeah, we love working with our realtors. In the process, we're a team, right? We're not competing against each other.
Yeah.
And you'll go to some other builders, and they don't want the realtor. But with us, and especially just my personal, just my values and everything. I'm like, hey, representation, right? I was a realtor too previously, so I mean, I understand. You wanna, we're doing the best for your clients, customers and things. So. I want to make sure that they're well taken care of. They understand the process. So working together. Inspections, I know you touched on that. We do encourage, third-party inspection. It's not required, but obviously the more information, the more secure you feel, the better. So absolutely.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
It gives you a synopsis of the house. And if there is anything that needs to be corrected or out of code, we can address it before closing.
Exactly.
And it's typically seamless. Because builders, they try hard, but I mean, they have contractors. I mean, mistakes happen. And you don't know what you don't know. So for added insurance, I always encourage a home inspection. And then having a realtor. I mean, you guys have builder meetings with these clients and stuff. And if you have a seasoned realtor, they can be there with the buyer at those meetings and understand what you're conveying to them. So that, because a lot of times they're like, I don't know, I'm just nodding my head, yes.
Yeah.
So if you have a seasoned realtor, they can go, this is what we normally see. Noah's correct. These rafters, these doors, not to get into the construction aspect of stuff, but if you have a fundamental understanding, because typically you have, the pre-build, then pre-sheet rock, and then you have the final. So there's a handful of meetings that you go on that I highly encourage, if you're not doing it as a realtor, to please do that, because you'll learn stuff from the builder, you'll understand the process better, and then you can help better convey what's next to your clients, because nobody likes surprises. I mean, so if you can guide them through and let them know, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, now they're not walking into anything blindfolded.
Exactly. And like Richard was saying, as with being with a seasoned realtor like yourself, definitely helpful, and just provide, answering questions, providing clarification. Like I said, we're working as a team, right? So me and Richard are working together. So yeah, if there's anything your clients need specifically, if they can ask me, but obviously you're experienced. Any specific construction questions, more than happy to work with you on that.
And then you have an on-site superintendent, and I'm sure he's available to help with the construction knowledge and questions as well.
Yeah. Construction managers, my manager personally, so and everything. So.
What are you seeing as far as how long it's taking for somebody to walk in, and number one, to purchase a home that is complete, it's new construction but it's complete, versus somebody who walks in and wants to build from the ground up, the amount of time it takes for one process versus the other.
Yeah.
From walking into your office to walking in their new door.
Yeah. Great question. I know.
Contract to close.
Yeah,
Contract to close.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's that term.
Yeah. I know with us, we're geared towards like, hey, like if you have somebody that wants to walk in today, they find the ideal home, we can go under contract today. Depending on the loan type, if it's all cash buyer, if it's FHA, VA, we're all eligible for USDA as well.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah.
very limited areas. That's basically new, undeveloped areas, or it's developed up to a certain percentage.
They're trying to encourage growth.
So they're
right.
So, and that's actually a very preferred for the buyer. It's actually a great incentive for them to take advantage of on USDA. So that's awesome.
That makes sense for Waller though, that they would have that there. Yeah. That's
I haven't
awesome.
seen that in Katy in a long time.
No.
Katie's got a lot of people here.
Yes.
That's right.
Actually, I think it may be Katy people going to Waller.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's what he was saying earlier. Katy
Yeah.
and Cypress.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
West Houston moving further out. Probably a lot with the hybrid schedules that developed and came out of the COVID period. It's allowing for people not to have to commute daily into town. So that's probably why we're seeing in Houston a further, it's just a crazy growth.
It's kind of a
for the
ripple
West.
effect.
Yeah.
People are going from urban to suburban and then suburban to rural. I mean, it's just kind of a
Just kind of moving out,
Yeah,
right? From
exactly.
the
It's
city,
just a way to-
moving out. Yeah.
Yeah, when you start tracking the trends in an area, it's very interesting what you see people are doing and the choices that they're making in general for their families.
Yeah, definitely.
You won't see Galleria area show up in Waller, but
No.
you'll see Katy.
Yes.
But then you'll see Katy go to Waller. You see what I'm saying?
Baby steps, Richard.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
That's funny.
I interrupted you with USDA because I was just excited to
Yeah,
hear that. 'cause I don't hear
Yeah.
that very
Oh, I'm so
often.
sorry. Yes.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
So,
So
I
you're
forgot
saying
where we left off at.
you were saying how long it normally takes.
Yes.
Oh,
for
yeah,
somebody-
yeah. Yeah, so and the reason why I mentioned USDA as well is it could take 30 to 45 days usually. Obviously, if it's a cash buyer, it could be a little quicker. But yeah, just depending on, usually like FHA, like if a home is fully ready to go, like stage 10 out of 10, we say like 30 days or so. Also depending how quick the lender can move, right?
Appraisals.
Right, exactly, things like that. So we encourage things as quick as possible, and something your realtor can tell you is like, hey, the quicker you get on those documents, working with your lender,
Yes.
the sooner and the better. So,
And when they ask you for something, do it the same day if all possible.
don't waste time. Yeah, don't waste time.
Time is of the essence.
Get it done. Get it done. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, because that affects everything at the end.
Yeah.
And everybody wants it to close on time. Buyers have movers, utilities, and it's
It's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a lot of moving. Spinning plates is what I call it.
Okay, yeah.
Because a lot of things cannot be done until this thing gets done first. And then this cannot get done until this gets done first. So it's imperative that everybody kind of stays on that same timeline.
Exactly. So that's something I was going to mention too, like with all these, the spinning plates, if you will, moving pieces. So to have a realtor in your corner to help you direct you through that process and guide you through, especially for a first-time home buyer, right?
Sure.
To keep everything on track. I know you're really great at that. So
No, I try hard.
Yeah.
Amenities in the neighborhoods. What are you seeing out there that's attracting these people out there?
Oh, that's a great question. Like clubhouses, sidewalks,
Yeah.
long sidewalks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know with like our community, not as many amenities as like there's not a pool, not a lagoon, things like that. What really attracts like our home buyers is more of like that price point and like that area, confirming the area they want to be in.
Okay.
So being 15 minutes from Cypress, some of those I guess more amenities are really not too far away.
Oh,
so.
absolutely. Yeah, that 15 minutes that's good.
Yeah, right. And especially if we're talking, like I know some communities, like I tell as well, like in, we have there's communities in like Katy as well, right? Everybody wants to be in Katy, right? But I mean, the same floor plan, you could pay I mean, significantly more money.
Sure.
And on taxes, et cetera, just because everybody wants to be in Katy. So, I mean, yeah, sure, you might have things right next door in your community, but I mean, you could save more monthly, right? Being like 10, 15 minutes away. So,
you're going to pay for the convenience.
Exactly. So,
Well, I use the term drive to qualify. If somebody wants to be in X amount of price range, in order to get them the amenities and everything they're looking for, sometimes, hey, we're going to have to add 10 to 15 minutes to your drive time in order to get you what you're truly trying to achieve. So if that's the home that you really want, here's where we can buy it at.
Yeah.
But if you want that same home here, and it's a sliding scale. I mean, the closer you go into Houston, it just keeps going up and up.
Yeah, exactly. Closer to the city and more convenient.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an easy trend. And then the other thing is new construction. I mean, you can just kind of look at the wave of the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and it moves up. So if you want a home that's 10 years old, well, here's our plot. We're going to be within here typically. So to get into the city and find stuff that's 10 years old, that's typically a home that was bought, raised, and then a new home built. And so that's exponential in cost typically to do stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So,
well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. What would you like to share with the public?
Yeah, definitely. I know I've started to see a little bit, like on your social media pages as well. So I'm trying to be like, you're really consistent, posting everything. So just want to say that. Richard and Missy.
R&D is what we call that. Rip off and duplicate.
Richard and Missy, y'all doing a great job with everything you're doing. So, I know like with my social media, I mean, I'll have like my Calendly link for my availability, and also my numbers.
Where can they find you on social media?
Yeah.
Well, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
To connect with you.
Yeah, if they have general new construction questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Facebook, so Noah Hopp, Instagram. It's Hops Never Stops with underscores in between.
Nice.
So
and that's
a little creative.
2 P's.
Yeah, two P's. Yeah. Also LinkedIn as well. I'll do like the same.
You have a LinkedIn page.
I do. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Most young people do like, what's LinkedIn?
I probably see it.
Right. So I'll like I said, I have all the same like contact info, everything like in my bios. I'll try to do like 2 or 3 times a week, just provide a value, like making posts and everything. So just to help people out.
So you're sharing tips out on social media.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And also what we offer, with my builders specifically. So some incentives and things that are going on. At the end of the day, just trying to provide value and just help people out, provide education. So.
Give to receive.
Yeah.
Our saying is we want to create the best possible outcome for every party involved in the transaction at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the professionals, the ones who are professionally practicing real estate, whether in new construction or as realtors in resale and new construction, the professionals just want the best possible outcome for everyone involved.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not just for our clients. For everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah,
There's a lot of pieces of the transaction.
Yeah,
so,
there are a lot of people involved.
What is it? For every house sold, I want to say there's like 40 different people involved in each transaction.
Yeah.
So that's 40 families
I believe it.
that are tied to a transaction.
Yeah, you look at the families too. Yeah.
Yes.
So, because you have attorneys, survey, title,
Inspection.
ancillary help, the contractors, your super, pick something. I mean, you have an army of people there in new construction, let alone all the other home insurance, home warranty, or so it's a massive amount of people that's involved in a transaction, and the general public doesn't really understand or see any of that, or I shouldn't say understand. They're not aware of it. I guess is how I should frame that.
Yeah, especially with you working with everybody on a daily basis, right? Definitely something your potential clients, even clients right now, should really appreciate with you in your corner.
Yeah.
So having you in your corner. So.
Well, we recently spoke with a number of for sale by owners as well, and it's amazing because I know on the outside sometimes the transaction may seem like it's just straightforward. I'm selling something, I'm receiving money, I'm going to give you an invoice.
It's not a t-shirt.
Or a receipt, yeah.
Right.
But a home is going to be more than likely one of your biggest financial assets that you have in your lifetime. And you need professionals involved like this person and this person. You need people who
And
are
you.
involved in the industry. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Missy's a wealth of information as well. She's got a ton of experience in what we do, and that's why she's part of the team that we have today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's awesome. I've worked with Missy too, so she's amazing. She's amazing. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
well, any final thoughts before we wrap things up, guys?
I think that's it. Just thank you so much for your time and having me out. Really appreciate it. I saw one of the podcasts. I think I did a little comment. I was like, hey, I got to be on here. So I knew just a matter of time.
You
So
know,
I just really appreciate it.
I'm just tickled and excited that we do have younger people coming into the industry who know what they're doing. Yeah, we've met a few through our coaching program in the area, but real estate, getting a license is relatively easy. Actually being a professional in it and staying up to date and current on all of the things, all of the moving pieces, that's next level. And so you do need somebody like Noah.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to be a guest in the future, please send us a DM. Love to chat with you.
That would be awesome. Bye, guys.
All right, thanks.